the beginning, I didn't think that I was even going to be arrested. Of course, I felt that they were going to hold me at least for a few, but for the most part, just the whole experience. I've never been in jail. I've never been, locked up or anything. So just the whole experience, just to have to soak that in, and at the same time be away from my child, knowing that my child was also going through the same thing with me, was a very terrible feeling for me. So, in that moment, the whole time I was just like in like shutdown stress mode. I had a face mask on because I really didn't want to be visible at that time, and
but
you all can't imagine.
But this was traumatizing.
Very traumatizing.
And you were toiling, and I'm only reason why I'm saying this is because one thing I do understand that there are things that are going on in court. We're not going into no details. This is why I asked her to come on this live, because number one, I wanted her to hear Rahima, but number two, I wanted y'all to see a little bit of what we've been watching in the background. Y'all allowed the media to give you a narrative, and everybody was tossed with their opinion. When she was free, but do y'all understand that in an overwhelming sense, everybody been telling her, do this, do that, do this, do that, go here, go here. And she been trying to figure out what's the best thing to do. And then she went on there and she was advised to, they filed the paperwork. But what I've watched y'all do again is almost re-victimize a woman who is suffering, because the village keep on forgetting our role. We have to protect our women and our children. Yeah. So in emotional turmoil, she done shut down so many times since I've been talking to her, crying and going through all these emotions. I said, you can tell them how you felt. I refuse to let y'all make her suffer in silence. Her whole world and her son's world have been turned upside down. So now look at the woman in her face. This is the thing that really, really disturbed me. What as it relates to your child, how did you feel? You can't do it, you can't do it. It's okay, you don't have to.
Nah, I'm okay.
As it relates to your child, what did you say you felt?
Could you repeat
when you was in jail, when you were arrested, the thoughts about your son, what were those?
I can't even. So the whole time, like I said, I wasn't even thinking about my process at that moment. I was just thinking about my son, because my son is not a bad kid. My son don't hang around other crowds of kids that's out here participating in all these negative things, and that could possibly put him in a situation to endure that situation he was in, being locked up. So just the fact that I knew my son, number one, watching him be arrested in front of me, put in handcuffs, getting his shoestrings took out of shoes, and how he was being handled during that time, and to be separated from me. I've never been separated from neither one of my kids, and to see us have to go in separate rooms, that was a very terrible situation for me to have to endure. And then just sitting in that room, not knowing if they were trying to come interrogate him without me, even though I knew that they couldn't, but I didn't know. Even just going in there asking him, hey, you want some water or whatever. So, but for the most part, just the whole, I couldn't imagine what my son was dealing with, even being in detention.
The thing that she said to me that broke my heart is that this woman who's been a victim of this situation said, I don't know. I sit here wondering if I'm going to ever see my son again and be able to touch and hold her son again. What I'm going to ask you all to do for me is a huge favor. Love on this family in this very difficult moment. I've had the honor of meeting your son. He is amazing. You did an amazing job. Just love on her in this very, 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 very tough time. Is there anything you want to say?
First of all, of course, yes, to the people. I know the first video went out, and I'm not going to go into details, but I do appreciate everyone that, knew me and didn't know me, and just was kind of fighting for our situation with the little bit of information that you all had. I just truly, from the bottom of my heart, thank you all.
I'm going to ask y'all black women to do me a huge favor if you don't do nothing else. Protect this sister at all costs moving forward. And if you all can, listen to me. We got to make sure that we help them in this transition. So if you are contributing to them, contribute to them through her directly. Reach out to her, contribute to her directly. I'm not gonna put their business out there, but I'm gonna tell y'all this is not an easy lift for this family right now.
No, it's not.
This young man he is here, but I'm not putting him on camera because y'all, it just doesn't need to happen. But if y'all had the opportunity and the honor of meeting her son, you will be blown away at the intelligence and the brilliance and the innocence. And let her know that we love her like the black queen that she is. And I'm telling you this on the record. She never did anything to put a child in harm's way. Stop those lies. She never told him.
Never texted him.
She never texted him. She never called him. She never asked him to do anything. She protected her son. She told him to go to the car. And the thing that is craziest to me.
For a fact, a big fact. And if anybody who truly know me, okay, my kids are my everything. I wouldn't dare have my son. I already knew something was off, but like I said, for the most part, I would never put my kids in a situation like that. Neither one of them. I didn't even want my son to witness it. That's why I said go to the car, because he overheard the argument, and that was that.
She was never she never in her tone, and she never done any of that. And we're done. I hope something was said that added value to your life. You all, Chicago, we love you. In America, sometimes you be tripping. Goodbye.
Yeah, it's really sad. Toward the end of the live, he had to cut it short because Carlisha just broke down. If he said throughout that interview, you kept breaking down and she was shut down, and then towards the end of the live, she broke down like that, I personally don't believe that she should have did the interview. I get her wanting to speak out and thank people, but like a form of grieving. Her son is traumatized. The fact that she experienced being institutionalized even for days that she was in there, and then having to keep talking about it and people lying on you, and you have to keep on trying to prove your innocence. I didn't provoke him. If y'all noticed throughout that live, all they kept saying was, see, she didn't provoke him. She didn't send a text. Black people are intent on making her the villain anyway. They're only creating a narrative and spinning a narrative that they already know that you believe in. Let's even say hypothetically she did something because she spoke to him in a way, or does that justify what he did to her? Caused his own demise because the community likes to insulate these grown males who go on to terrorize the women. At the end of the day, his family members are extremely dangerous. The people he's connected to are very, very, very cantankerous. Right now, they are intent on trying to get revenge. And I can see some of them watching these interviews or finding out where some of these women live or whatever, and then retaliating. Rahima Carlisha needs to leave Chicago. I know that's their home. I know it's easier said than done. If that was me, I would have done that interview, not giving my name. I would have had my face in a mask or something. And they still could have, pinpointed it to her that she was the one that recorded. But putting a face and a name, Black community already is looking for a reason and is already on edge. And many Black women are being in Chicago, mainly at the hands of Black men, which you want to keep on pretending as if we don't know that. Yeah, I would not be putting my face out there. I would be stealthily at this point. I would move away quietly and I would get ghosts and just not return back, because sadly, something keeps gnawing at my spirit. Like there is something looming, like a retaliation or something. And I don't want that to happen, but they're already showing their instability. They said they riding for him no matter what. I would just go. Y'all are the real MVP. Y'all ended up getting his GoFundMe shut down. The first one got shut down, and then there was a second one. And I was like, hey, please report this. That got shut down too. So y'all got to clap it up for yourselves. Okay. But the fact that his family is still taunting her, oh, she got her ish knocked and all that. Well, this is why people are now doing the same thing to you. Like, y'all always want this whole God forgives and all. Child, God forgives. Sometime I don't. Well, a lot of time I don't. Can we help Jeremy Brown? No, we can't. He out here in these streets with that attitude and no insurance policy. Y'all better sell his heart because he was bold, but now cold. So it's clear that she has PTSD. And if she's experiencing that, could you imagine what her son is going through? Oh my goodness. Black men, y'all gonna learn to keep your hands to yourself. And I have to talk to you because you're the main ones doing it. When other groups are doing it to us, they're doing it because they know that you feel comfortable doing it to us, so they feel comfortable doing it too. And isn't it crazy how in the interview he said, Black women, you need to protect each other. I have never heard any other group of women to tell each other to protect ourselves. I can't give y'all a dime. I'm not giving you a tear. I'm not resharing anything for you. And y'all can say it's bitterness, it's anger, it's whatever. Again, I'm putting myself first the same way y'all put yourselves first. Get yourself some protection. Go take some classes for that protection. Move out of these laden areas. Stay away from depravity and put